Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Prevention is better than cure. I'm Dr. Chiranjeevi Manike, Associate Professor, School of Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, SR University, Warangal. Today we are going to dive into one of the most important concepts in the cloud computing, Amazon VPC or Virtual Private Cloud. If you have ever wondered how AWS allow you to create your own private network in the cloud, securely connect resources and control traffic flow, this video is for you. In this session, I will walk you through what a VPC is, why it is so important, and then give you a step-by-step demonstration on how to create a VPC with subnets, an internet gateway, and routing. By the end, you will clearly understand how to design and set up your own virtual network inside AWS. So stick around till the end and don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on my upcoming tutorials on AWS and cloud computing. Now let us get started with AWS VPC. Amazon Virtual Private Cloud lets you provide a logically isolated section of the Amazon Web Services where you can launch AWS resources in a virtual network that you define. You have complete control over your virtual networking environment, including selection of your own IP address range, creation of subnets, and configuration of route tables and network gateways. So you can use both IPv4 and IPv6 in your VPC for secure and easy access to resource and applications. Once you log into AWS Management Console, at the top of this AWS Management Console, in the search bar, search for and choose VPC. So choose VPC under the services. On the next screen, click on this Create VPC. Now we have two options. One is under this VPC settings. One is a VPC only, and this is to create a VPC manually. The second option is VPC and more. And this, by using this, we can create by using this wizard, we can create a VPC. That is very easiest way. So first let us see how we can create a VPC manually. So let us select this first option under the VPC settings, that is VPC only. Now we have to give the name for VPC. So because as per our syllabus, and this is a Lab-4 experiment, so let me give the name like Lab-4 hyphen VPC. Now we have to give the cyber block range for this VPC, that is 10.0.0.0/16. That is the cyber block range for this VPC. Next, leave the default selection like IPv6 cider block. That means no IPv6 cider block here. And then tenancy also would be set as a default. Leave that as a default. Then scroll down to the bottom right corner. So click on this Create VPC. Now you can see you successfully created VPC, that is Lab-4 VPC. And if you want to see this VPC, and this is a VPC summary that we have created just now. If you want to see that, you can just click on this your VPCs, that is on the left side navigation pane under the Virtual Private Cloud console. So now you'll be able to see the VPC. This is Lab-4 VPC, which is available now. So we have successfully created VPC. Then we have to create a two subnets. We have successfully created Lab-4 VPC. Now we are going to create a two subnets. in this VPC. So left side navigation panel under VPC console, click on subnets. In the right hand side top corner, click create subnet. Now let us select the VPC, that is a previously created VPC, Lab-4 VPC. And then scroll down to subnet settings, give the name for public subnet. So Lab-4 public subnet. And then select availability zone. So here I'm going to create each subnet in different availability zone. So public subnet will be created in this US East 1A, which is that is availability zone. Next, IPv4 subnet cider block range. So 10.0.1.0/24. Then scroll down to bottom, click create subnet. So you have successfully created public subnet. And then click create a one more subnet, that is a private subnet. Here in this top right hand side corner, click on this create subnet and select the VPC that is previously created and scroll down to bottom. Here give the uh, private subnet name, that is Lab-4 private subnet, and scroll down to availability zone. Here I'm going to create this private subnet in a different availability zone. And then let us scroll down to IPv4 subnet cider block range. Here 10.0.2.0/24. Then scroll down to bottom, click create subnet on the right hand side. Now we have successfully created the private subnet also. So you can check this two, like Lab-4 public subnet and Lab-4 private subnet, both have created. So next, create internet gateway. So left side under this VPC console, so click on this internet gateways, and here and this is a previously created, that is already detached. So we are going to create a new one. The top right corner, create on, so click on this create internet gateway, give the name for this. So Lab-4 IZW, so that is internet gateway name, and scroll down to bottom right corner, click create internet gateway. So internet gateway was created with the name Lab-4 IZW. So now you can attach this internet gateway to VPC either by clicking on this right hand side of this green color box, else close this, click on this left side internet gateways option under this VPC console, select internet gateway 4. So here you can see internet gateway that is created just now. I think it's this one. Previous one is detached. So now let us attach to this internet gateway. So let us select this internet gateway under this name column. So click on actions, the drop down list, click attach to VPC. Now we have to select the previously created VPC, that is Lab-4 VPC, and the right hand side click on this attach internet gateway. So internet gateway successfully attached to the previously created VPC. Next, we have to define the route table for the public subnet. So click on this subnets on the left side navigation panel under the virtual private cloud VPC console. So once you click on this, so let us scroll down to bottom to select this Lab-4 public subnet. So here, this is the Lab-4 public subnet. For this, we are going to create a route table. So left side navigation pan under the VPC console, click on this route tables. So here we are going to create a route table. The top right corner, click on this create route table. So specify the route table name for this public subnet. So Lab-4 public -RT. RT is a short name for this route table. And then select the previously created VPC, that is Lab-4 VPC. Scroll down to bottom, right corner, click create route table. Now we have successfully created the route table. So then we have to add a route to this route table. So bottom, switch to this tab routes, and once you switch to this routes tab on the right hand side, click on this edit routes. So here this is a one route with a destination 10.0.0/16, that is a VPC, a CIDR range, and that is to the local target. So that is to have the communication within the VPC. And let us add by clicking on this add route. So we are going to add this route that is from all the traffic to internet gateway. So select the option internet gateway, and below that and select a previously created internet gateway, that is Lab-4a IZW. So then scroll down to bottom, click save changes. Next, switch to the second, that is a subnet associations tab. Then click on this right hand side edit subnet association. So because we have to associate that route table to the public subnet. So select the public Lab-4 public subnet. So then save associations. So then go to public subnet settings. So click on this subnets, select the public subnet, and click on actions. And here the third option, edit subnet settings. So because we have to enable the auto assign IPv4 address for this public subnet. Under auto assign IP settings, check this box enable auto assign public IPv4 address. So scroll down to bottom, click save. So next one is we are going to create a EC2 instance in this public subnet. So let us go to EC2 instance. So in this AWS Management Console, top search bar, search EC2, then the result under the services, select EC2. So you will be switched to that uh, screen, so that there you'll be able to create you can create a launch instances. So scroll down and there is an option, click on this launch instance. So then give the instance name like Lab-4 public hyphen EC2. This is an instance which we are going to launch in this public subnet. So then scroll down to application and OS images, select Ubuntu server, and then scroll down to instance type. Under this instance type, select the t2.micro. Select this t2.micro. Next here we are going to use under key pair, we are going to use the available key pair, that is VOCKEY. So then under the network settings, right hand side of this, click edit, then select the VPC which you have previously created and select the public subnet. You can see here it is already selected, and then leave the remaining default options as it is. Scroll down to the bottom, click on the launch instance. So you'll be able to see the progress of launching instance. Now you have successfully initiated the launch of instance. Next, we have to create elastic IP address. So again, click on this EC2 instances. So under the networks and the security, click on this elastic IP address, IPs. So here we have to allocate the elastic IP address. So and leave the default options and click allocate. Now elastic IP address allocated successfully. So now go to so we have to associate this IP address. to the public. So let us click on this IP address, select this. So click on actions, associate this elastic IP address. So that is so here, because to which instance this elastic IP address need to be associated. I think we have already associated. If not, there is not a problem. Let us select this public Lab-4 public EC2 and click associate. Okay. So now let us connect to this public EC2 instance. So click on this instances and select the public Lab-4 public EC2, and that should be in the running state. So select this instance and click connect. Now switch to this EC2 instance connect and click on connect on the bottom right corner. Now it is establishing connection. So once the connection is established, we will check whether we will be able to connect to the internet. So by executing a command in this terminal. So let us execute a command, sudo apt get update. So now you can see it is connected to this and updating the OS. So now we have tested like public EC2 instances, we are able to connect to the internet. So next, let us check whether we would be able to connect to the private EC2 instance. Before we have to launch this instance, so go to this instances and click on this launch instance. So here I am going to create the private EC2 instance. So lab4 hyphen private hyphen EC2. So select the Ubuntu server. Under instance type, select EC2 t2.micro. You can search t2.micro and select this t2.micro. Scroll down to key pair. Here we have created this previously created the private hyphen key kp hyphen 1. So once you create this key pair with this name or any name, like once you click on this create key pair, once you and it will be downloaded and it will be available in the downloads folder. So I'm selecting that previously created, and that is the key pair is available in the downloads folder. Next, click the network edit settings on this network. Now select the previously created VPC, that is Lab-4 VPC, and now we have to select this private subnet because this EC2 instance will be launched in this public subnet. So now let us leave the remaining default options, then click on this launch instance. So now the progress you can see here, the launching instance. Now it is successfully initiated the launch of instance in this private subnet. So then go back to this instance. Let us connect to this private instance. This is a running instance now. So let us select this and connect. Now on this EC2 instance connect tab, you will not be able to see the connect option because it does not have the public IP address, and you have to connect to the SSH client. So once you switch to this SSH client, so there is an option to connect, like you can, this is the way you can connect to this uh, Ubuntu the private subnet EC2 instance. So as I said, this is already available in the downloads, but we are going to connect to this EC2 private EC2 instance from this public EC2 instance. So that means this key, whatever, like suppose if you go to this one private hyphen key kp hyphen 1.pem, this key pair file should be available in this uh, location. If you execute this ls, you will be able to see the, so now that means it is not available here. We have to bring that file into this location. So one way, like we'll keep that file, like if you go to this my GitHub repository, because I moved that file into my GitHub repository. From there, I'm going to clone into this directory. So now you can see here the repositories. There is a repository temp3. Okay, this is a repository I have created to upload this private -kp -1.pem. So now I'll copy this path and then clone it into that current working directory in this public EC2 instance. So then I can connect to this private EC2 instance. Then we'll check it whether we'll be able to connect to the internet or not. So now let us copy this one, or else before let us execute this command, we have to install this git on this public EC2 instance. So sudo apt get install git. So now it is done. Now I can copy this. So let us go to this GitHub repository and click on this code, and please copy this HTTP. Yes, by clicking on this icon it will be copied, and then come to the public EC2 instance terminal, and this is the, yeah, before you just, sorry, first we have to clone this. So now execute that command to clone that repository, sudo git clone, and paste the path of that repository in the GitHub. So hit enter button. Now it is cloned to this current working directory. Once you execute this ls command, you will be able to see the uh, repository name, that is temp_3. Now let us move to that repository by executing command cd temp_3. Then if you execute ls again, you'll be able to see the private -kp -1.pem file. Now you can come to this, and this is the way you can connect to this private EC2 instance terminal. So copy this, or you can just click on this icon to copy, go to this public EC2 instance terminal and paste it. So now hit the enter button. Now you'll be able to, it is asking, this key is not known by any other names, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. So now it established connection. That means we are connected to this public EC2 instance terminal. Both, because here we cannot find the difference, because on both instances we have installed this Ubuntu 24.04 server, but by like IP address you can identify. Like suppose here you can see previously in this here, um, the IP address is this one. Now we are connected to this 10.0.2.11, that you can check here. This is a private IP address of this private subnet EC2 instance. So now we are connected to this. Now let us check whether we'll be able to connect to the internet or not. So let us execute a ping command to the google.com and check the response whether we will be able to receive the response or not. Now there is no response from the Google. So that means we are not able to connect to the internet. So now we are going to attach a NAT gateway to this public subnet, and then we add this route in the private subnet route table, and then again try to connect to this one to check whether we would be able to connect to the internet or not. So let us go to uh, this VPC console. We are switching to this VPC console. Here we'll find this NAT gateway option under this VPC console on the left navigation panel. So click on this NAT gateways. So here This is a previously created, but the state is deleted. Now we are going to create a fresh NAT gateway. In the top right corner, click on this create NAT gateway. So give the name for this. So Lab-4 NAT hyphen gateway. Then select the subnet. To which subnet we are going to attach to this NAT gateway. So that is to the public subnet. I already explained the architecture. Next, click on this allocate elastic IP address and leave the remaining all the options as it is and click create NAT gateway on the right hand bottom right corner. Now we have created this NAT gateway successfully. Now we are going to modify the root table for this public subnet. So let us check this root table for the public subnet. Create a root table for the public subnet. Create a root table. So I'm giving the name lab4, sorry, private. We are already attached to this NAT gateway to the public subnet, but we are going to add the root entry in this private subnet root table. So lab4 uh, private hyphen rt root table. Now select the VPC that is previously created Lab-4 for VPC. Then bottom right corner, click on this create route table. Now we have successfully created this Lab-4 private hyphen RT route table successfully. And then in the bottom, switch to this routes tab. Then on the right hand side, click on this edit routes. So here there is a root already available here, that is 10.0.0/16 and target is local. That is to have the communication within the VPC. Now we are going to add a route to the NAT gateway. So select the all traffic and then the target is a NAT gateway. So select the NAT gateway and then the next box, select the previously created NAT gateway. Scroll down to the bottom right corner. Click Save Changes. Now, so we have modified this, and next thing is, and this need to be this route table need to be associated to the private subnet. So switch to this subnet association. Then on the right hand side, click on Edit Subnet Associations, select the private, and then click Save Associations. Save Associations. Let us also check private public subnet root table also. So click on this root tables. This is a public subnet root table, and whether it is whether we have changed this or not. So switch to this routes and edit routes, and yeah, so internet gateway already, and then go back, save changes, and you have not made any changes. So then cancel, then switch to this subnet association, edit subnet association. So association is also done. Save association, because there are no changes here. Okay, I'm just checking whether I have done this all or not. Now we have added this NAT gateway. Now let us go to this public EC2 instance, and let us reconnect to this private EC2 instance and try to ping to the google.com to check whether we would be able to connect to the internet or not. So now, and this is the yeah, now you can see here, once I made the changes, I'm getting the responses. Previously it was not there. So now, because we have made the changes and we have added the route to the NAT gateway. Okay, so here this is the way. Now we have successfully created VPC and created the two subnets and the two different availability zones, and we attach the internet gateway to the VPC and NAT gateway to the subnet, public subnet, and then uh, we modified the route tables of the private subnet and private public subnets, and then we have tested whether this architecture, whatever the architecture we designed, is working. That means this public and the private subnets are working. That means because we have launched these EC2 instances in both the private and public subnets. That's it. Thank you for watching.